Business Breakthroughs, hosted by Bamal Shah and produced for you by the Laws of Life Network. I'm the founder of the platform Blanca, here tonight with the amazing Bamal Shah. How are you tonight, Bamal?
Awesome. Fired up as usual with your shows.
I love it. I love that you're fired up. And tonight we have a very important topic. It's something that we haven't spoken about on the show before: breakthroughing in the sell, the journey, not the destination for next level growth. And the goal being to create a customized strategy to build the business and multiply profitability. So, what does that mean to you? How are you going to get us there? What is the mindset we need to have?
So here's the mistake that one of the things that I see in most entrepreneurs, they sell their product or their service. I do website, I do social media, I do digital marketing, I hire people. So you're selling the destination. But if you sell the journey to the destination, you get a lot more business. For example, we talk about digital marketing. Okay, so when we're talking about digital marketing, there's a process of how you get the right leads, how you generate things, how you improvise your brand, how you improvise your reputation, how you improvise your credibility. Uh, but instead, people, try to do a menu like, okay, these are all the services that we provide. What would you like to do? No, you actually want to be a recommender. You want to build a process. You understand where the bus, where the client's destination is, and build the journey and sell the journey. So, for example, in my business, what I say is, let's get on a journey to achieving your 3 to 5 year goal in 1 year. What does that journey look like? Where does it begin? What are the stages? What's the middle? What's the end? How does it happen? Sell that process.
I love that concept. I love that concept.
Yeah, I mean, even in your own practice, let's say if you were to apply that, you will get, 3 to 5, maybe even 10 to 20 times more business from your clients than just trying to sell a specific product or service.
Without a doubt. So it's I hear your point about selling the journey. What break it down for us further? So for example, I have a new social media package out right now. Let's take I created a deal. It literally took me 12 hours last Friday. I broke down the guts of the deal. Okay. I went crazy. I I said I'm going to create 12 graphically designed posts. I'm going to broadcast it across 4 channels, 3 times a week. I even showed them a chart on the process of they'll start with the graphic designer, then all of their graphics and copy will be done. I will then review it as their director of marketing, and they will have 48 posts of social media for $175. I called it the Sweetheart Social Media Deal. I created a graphic, I created a landing page, and I ran an ad on it. Is that what you mean by selling the journey, by showing the steps of the process, or is there more that I can do?
There's a lot more, in what you just described in your conversation was more of the destination than the journey. So for example, when you talk about the 48 posts for $175, which is a sweet deal, okay, that's numbers, but what does that do for me? What is the end goal? And so, for example, in this journey, it's about reputation, building your brand, building your image, you know building your credibility. Those are the stages that you're doing as a result of the social media, and that's what you want to build as stages. It's more about what you do. So for example, if you talk about brand, okay, so for example, brand has been defined in many different ways in many different people. So it's monetization of your reputation, right? So think about brand is also, if I asked you, what would you like to drink? What would you say?
I would love a Perrier with a slice of lime served in a champagne glass.
Exactly. So now, Perrier with the champagne glass has occupied the positioning of your behavior of thirst. So whenever you're buying reflex, so brand is buying reflex affecting now decision. Okay, buying reflex affecting now decision. So if you think about that, buying reflex, your buying reflex was what? Was prompted by thirst, right? And what was your thirst decision? For thirst was a Pierre in a champagne glass. So that is the positioning that you want to occupy. So when you talk about the journey, you want to talk about the journey of what you're doing and the benefit to the customer and the stages that are involved in it, that we need to uh, you know we need to build these stages. And that's why I have the tool. If they scan the QR code, the process innovator tool is a perfect tool um, for actually building this whole journey of the dream come true experience.
Wow. So that's amazing. Everybody, the QR code is on the screen of this background. You can scan it and pick up the tool, the Process Innovator. And what will that process show them?
So it builds a dream come true experience for your clients. So it tells you the beginning, the middle, and it actually builds the journey. So you, instead of thinking your business is a product or a service or a menu item or looking at everybody else and calling yourself or putting yourself in a category of everyone else, you now actually build a journey for something that nobody else is doing, where you try to become a pioneer. I want to solve a problem that nobody else is solving, or I want to occupy a place where nobody else is doing for somebody. You find a problem, you find a puzzle, and you try to solve it. And include it could be in digital marketing, but it puts you different from everybody else. And that's a pioneer where you become the only one. And that's what the process innovator does. It helps you build that journey. And
Well,
then
I love it. That's incredible. I mean, I think I've done that because I give them that custom graphic designer experience that they're not getting throughout the world. They're getting this canned content that gets them nowhere.
right. Now, instead of selling the words custom graphic design, you have to sell the benefit of what the custom graphic design, what's the journey of, that custom graphics do for them? What's their image? What's their reputation? What's their quality that they're getting as a result? How does that position them differently from their competitors? Okay. That's what you need to say. This is what differentiates me from any other social media artist who would then just take maybe, interns from college, and they will position anything and everything to just have a social media uh,
You
in
know
your.
what? That is true. I need to I focused on the breakdown of the benefits. I focused on that, but I didn't focus enough on the positional value created, and that's what makes a pioneer. And that's why we all need to buy Bamal's book, Becoming a Pioneer. Join your amazing pioneer program and get with the program and become a true pioneer. Bamal's my business coach. He's helped me grow. He's helped me develop. He's helped me become a more profitable pioneer. That's for sure. And you've helped me learn my value, Bamal. You really have. Um,
Exactly.
you
Thank
really have.
So then let me talk, and thank you, Blanca. Thank you for those wonderful words. Now, what I want to share is the pioneer journey. So
Yes.
so people, I practice what I preach. So if you're thinking about, okay, Bimal, give me an example of the journey that you built. So let's talk about this pioneer journey. The pioneer journey starts with getting a book. You can get a book on Amazon for just a buck. Yeah, sometimes they go on sale for 99 cents. So you get the book, you get to join the club. Now, what happens in the club? You connect with other entrepreneurs and pioneers around the world. We meet once a month and we look at your goals, we look at your challenges. No additional investment, no additional cost, just getting the book every month when it comes out. Now, once you join the club, the next level is the community. So you have the Pioneer book, you have the Pioneer Club, now you have the Pioneer community. Now you have seen many businesses, including sponsorship and membership, they all have this gold, silver, platinum, basic premium level. That doesn't mean a damn thing, right? What does that mean? Gold, platinum, and silver. So it just means more money for the seller, right? It doesn't mean anything more for the consumer. So what I did was we created three different stages: the learning pioneer, the growing pioneer, and the scaling pioneer, which are actual benefits that you get. When you start at the stage one, you're learning to be a pioneer. When you're starting in stage two, you're growing pioneer, just like the butterfly. When it's born, you're fresh, you're just a startup, you have to get the basics right about your business so you can move on to the next stage.
Right.
Once you have a team, then you have some few people, now you're ready to scale.
Okay.
So those are the three stages of the community: the learning community, the pioneer community, the growing pioneer community, the scaling pioneer community. Once we get there, then I have a cohort which becomes an advisory board to the remainder of the pioneers. So it goes from the book to the club to the community to the cohort. So that, and then we have this whole conference. So that's the journey. What is the journey of a pioneer look like? And you can begin by, even you can start off with your 90-day leap. I have a tool called the biggest 90-day leap. There's a link there, even on the QR code when you scan it, the biggest 90-day leap, and get the book. That's the easiest place to start, and every entrepreneur needs to have a book. If you don't have a book, we'll help you write one. 90 minutes, give me 90 minutes, you will have a book.
Well, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I mean, that is so attractive. That is such an irresistible offer. Who can
Yeah.
say no to that? So you're saying that you could sit down with me and write my book in 90 minutes?
No, so here's how the process works. There are three stages. So that's the journey. Like we talk about journey, right? Sell the journey, not the destination. So
Right.
instead of me trying to tell you about a book, I'm going to tell you about the journey. So the first step is, we I send you a pre-qualifying, like a simple questionnaire asking you what are your thoughts, what are you looking at, what is your basic idea of a book that you have. So you answer a few questions, I get a basic idea of what you're looking at. Then what we do is we have two options. One is I give you, once you begin the journey, you either do a workshop or a tool. So this is a mind map tool that I give you, and with this mind map tool, you actually, like, I have a cloud and other different, subsets that you break down. That those become your chapters. Those become your actual outlines and things like that. Now, once that is done, we get on a video. I ask you questions. Now we will do all the research. We'll do all the back end. So you're not dictating or telling me what to write. You're actually just giving me points. You're giving me some insights on what needs to be written, and then we will actually write the book for you. Those are three simple stages. The stage one, you ask, questionnaire, you get, and that's also on the QR code. If somebody wants to get started, they can get that for free. The second is, we will, once we begin, we will do the mind map, and third is we'll write the book.
That is absolutely mind-boggling. And the level of service and the level of attention that you give to your clients is extraordinary. What an opportunity. Not only to purchase the book, Becoming a Pioneer, for $1, to become part of a community, to join the membership, to network with other pioneers. So many opportunities to grow, scale, and evolve. So, what's your number one law of business breakthrough today? Because you seem very fired up, so I need to know.
So my number one law today is to make sure that you work smart, hard, fast, and at your optimal, in an optimal environment. So many times, we get overwhelmed. Okay. So when we get overwhelmed, I would say play golf. Now, what does golf mean? Golf means, it's an acronym. So you take, your goals, like, your goal that you want to accomplish, you build an optimal environment. And I've seen companies, there was a construction company that they had big lofty goals, but the place they were working on, the CFO was sitting in a corner, flooded with papers, in a corner seat, and the assistant was sitting right next to her, and they were both working at the same desk. You can't function, a big company that you want to scale to 20-30 million dollars in such an environment. So wherever you're working, have a nice clean environment to work, uh, and so that you can work productively, right? Then leverage and lead. So don't try to do a task, lead the task, meaning that, do I how do I get this task done most effectively? What is the optimal outcome? Do I need to do it? Is there a system? Do I need to eliminate? Why am I doing this? What is the purpose behind this? Is this really going to take me where I want to go?
What's
uh,
the E for?
what the F?
Well, GOLF.
L.
What's the F for?
Fixed timer. Put a timer.
Oof, that's brutal. Are you saying put a deadline on success?
No, put a deadline on a specific thing that you want to do. So, for example, you say, I want to work on a specific task, and you give 90 minutes, you give 30 minutes, you give 60 minutes, you give 15 minutes. Because sometimes when we give a specific timer, you can only work on that specific activity or specific result or specific outcome. What may happen is you may get bogged down, you may get interrupted. But when you have that timer going, you will discard the interruptions. You will stay away from those interruptions. I mean, the biggest interruptions are your email, people, phone, and thoughts. You know.
I love that. All right, so tell me again. G is for goal, O is for optimal environment, L is for
Leverage and lead. Leverage means think about every specific task and lead the task. Don't do the task.
and
When
M
you,
is for finite time on tasks.
yeah,
That's brilliant. And how true is that? Sometimes, Bamal, I know we're already at our 15 minutes, but I'm going to bounce off one more question because your energy is so powerful tonight. So I'm going to run with it for a couple more minutes. Sometimes I'm having an amazing day, and then somebody steps into my day and they infuse a dose of unfounded negative energy, and it literally makes all my energy drop. What is the answer to that? Because am I letting that be a distraction? What's happening there?
remote control. Who wants to have remote control? Does that other person have the remote control on you, or you have it?
I've got it.
Exactly. So you have the remote control, you have the choice to respond. And many a times, sometimes silence is golden. You don't have to respond to everything.
That's true. You really don't. Sometimes because you have to look at the root causes of why the energy, may have impacted you. Maybe you were just hungry in that point. Maybe you were tired. It could have been a human factor. That's why I always follow the 24-hour rule. I never respond for 24 hours because I
Now,
have to
some
really
things you
understand.
may have to, some things you may have to, but it's up to you where at the moment in time do you, because sometimes when you respond to this negative energy, they throw more negative energy because that's exactly what they're looking for.
Interesting. Well, Bamal, you always have the answers. Bamal is one of the leading business experts in the country. He is the CEO of Raj Parth Achievers. We're also collaborators. Laws of Life is the proud director of marketing for Raj Parth Achievers. We work together on marketing projects. Bamal can help you on business projects. What's an example of a project you could help an entrepreneur with?
So the biggest thing is, entrepreneurs are looking for next level growth, right? And when they're seeking next level growth, when they're looking at their 3 to 5 year goal, one of the things that they need most help with is direction, capabilities, and confidence, right? So you need to be in the right direction. And many times, if you go in the wrong direction, it takes you so long to once you reach there to come back at the right place and go in a different direction. So it's very, very essential that you start the journey right. And that's why, the whole system that we built and the structure that I've built, I have so many tools, I have so many resources, I have so many books that I've written. There's so many systems already built that you can plug and play. And I have digitized myself. So if there are folks who say, well, Bimal, I can't afford a lot of money, I can't afford a consultant, I can't afford a coach. Well, there's two answers. I've digitized myself. You can start with minimal to nothing and you can build your way up there. Or I could get a grant and we could see how we can use the grant to pay for a lot of the things to work together. So that's the project that excites me the most, is next level growth for businesses and taking them to the next level in the next 12 months.
Well, that is absolutely fantastic. And Bamal, you clearly have a passion for what you do, and you do achieve the results. I know because I've achieved them myself. And it's an honor to work with you, Bamal. Wishing you a great night. Thanks for these amazing laws of business breakthroughs. Appreciate you.
Exactly. Thank you. And be a results leader. There's a lot of people who say, I'm thought leader. Anybody can have a thought and lead that thought, but be a results leader, and you'll be the only one.
I love it. I mean, you were on fire tonight. So everybody, watch the Laws of Business Breakthroughs every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, hosted by Bamal Shah. And if you want to connect with Bamal, send me a DM on social media. I'm happy to make an email intro, whatever I can do to help you connect. Have a wonderful night, everybody, and see you next time.